Hi everybody, I'm Zilla Blitz and welcome to episode 3 in our playthrough of Lanzerath Ridge, the tactical World War II combat game from Verssen Games. In this game you take control of a small contingent of US forces at the very start of the Battle of the Bulge and you try to defend, yes, Lanzerath Ridge. We've survived the first 2 waves, but wave 3 has a big difference. We're playing this one blind. I'd previously played waves 1 and wave 2, and so I kinda knew what was coming up. I've not seen a single card in wave 3. So this is going to be a lot different and a lot more of an adventure. Can we hang on? Will our heroes survive? Or is this the end of our Lanzerath Ridge playthrough? All right, we can see it is time for the third wave. Our German forces are making their way into the fields to the down below Lanzerath Ridge. Our defenders await them up into the wooded, hilly area. Now, the biggest change between this wave and the previous wave has to do with our attack deck. The overall consensus was don't look at the deck. And if you're not familiar with what the situation was, before I made this video series, I played Attack Wave 1 and Attack Wave 2. So when we played them for the video series, I'd already seen them and I knew it was coming. So I have not yet played Attack Wave 3 and I have yet to look at a single card in there. Having said that, from reading the rules, and as you read the rules you get a little bit of history of the battle, I'm pretty certain that we're going to see more activity out on the far east and far west flanks, and we're going to see more mortar activity. We also have medics disguised as forward observers for the Germans that we're going to have to deal with in this wave as well. We'll talk more about them when we get there. But let's take a look at how I've shifted our defense around, and then we'll get started right in with the action. Alrighty, I'm not sure this is a great idea, but we've clustered more of our forces out here in these 2 positions so that we can fire on this western flank. And I think with Parkira here and Royce here on the machine gun, we might even start out to see if we can knock this machine gun out just so we don't run the risk of everybody here getting taken out of action in one round. That could be kind of catastrophic. Otherwise, it's very much the same. Barney, Hart, Parkira, Royce, Scratch, Pambos, Dave T in these 3 positions. Let's take a look at our central defense. In the center, we're kind of clustering people around this machine gun nest that Lyle and Dento can operate, our M2. A lot of our central defense is now going to rely on our M2. We have quite a bit of ammo left for it, so I think we're going to have them try to hold these 3 central positions. Everybody else is going to try to hold the flanks. We're going to have Ray, our commander, run down to this position so he can inspire people. Again, I think we're taking a risk by clustering a lot of people together. If it gets hit by a mortar or a machine gun nest, it could be pretty bad, but we'll run that risk because I want to gain the benefits of inspiration. One of the questions we have is, what do we do with Zero? Does he run to make artillery calls on the damaged radio, or does he come forward to help the defense? I think we're going to have him try artillery. Indy back here is probably going to run over here. Otherwise, we have Irish back here to help out with his rifle as well. Let's take a look at our eastern flank. Here, I think our most vulnerable position is this eastern flank. We've lost the booby trap here, and probably going to see a lot of pressure. So I've got Vargas, Stone, and Joey out here. We've got Rabinoff and Lanuski up here. All of these 5 can fire in one way, shape, or another onto these attackers coming up this right flank. Also, we've got Super P here, and we've broken down the machine gun. In his first action, he's going to run with the machine gun over here, put it in place, and we're going to have Vargas set it up, so we're going to place the machine gun here. That way we can get our M1919 machine gun firing on these guys in the woods as they come through as well. So our big emphasis again is shifting a lot of our defense to the outside and hoping our machine gun can hold the middle. And then let's just pray and hope everything goes okay. With that in mind, I think we're set to get started. Let us begin. All right, 27 attackers. Our very first attacker is Assault in the middle, 1 to 6. So let's see what we get here. That's a very traditional spot here, 3. So let's drop them in place, and a rifleman. So assault position 3 is right up here towards Lyle, Dento, and Irish. Our first rifleman moves up, second rifleman moves up, and our next one comes into the queue. They start to make their way into the field. Okay, that was pretty traditional there. Not much different about Attack Wave 3 so far. I've also been thinking a little bit about what I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see less attacks in the middle, more mortars, and more flankers, but I have no idea. I'm just kind of guessing there. Second attack, assault, rifleman in the middle. This is the exact same card. All right, a 4. Ooh, they're pushing down the middle here. Okay, so this rifleman pushes up. Now the barbed wire is there and they don't have a leader in the queue here, so that means they're going to stack up These guys are going to go there, and they are taking cover behind the barbed wire fence and not knowing what to do. Third and final attacker. Assault. Leader, place 2. Okay. So we can, I think that tells us we're probably going to see the similar things we saw before, which is leaders in, at one leader in every assault row. All right, so this leader puts in here. These guys are going to shuffle up. He's up to the barbed wire fence. Our leader falls in place here, and that's the end of the first German assault wave here, a first assault round. Now it's our turn. There's like 10 things I want to do, but first up, let's see what we can do. I want to see if Royce here can take out this machine gun and eliminate that machine gun nest that's making me nervous. Inspired by Parkera, Royce has a D10 because this M1918 is in position. He's going to get 2 dice rolls then with his M1918 firing out here on this flank position. We need a 7 or greater on either of these 2 to take it out. So Royce opens fire. A 10 and a 2. Excellent. So this machine gun is knocked out. Royce gets 2 kills to start us off. That's outstanding. And he is exhausted and burns up an action. Plus, we also used up 1 ammunition of our 6 ammunition tokens, so I'll put it there and then take it out of play. So that is a helpful start, I think, for us. And we're going to continue with this firing position now. So, inspired by Parkera, Scratch is going to take his rifle shot and see if we can pick this rifleman off here at the fence before they build up an attack here. So Scratch has a D8 rifle. Parkera can inspire him. So he's going to get 2 shots, and we need a 4 or greater. Scratch takes aim and opens fire. 7 and a 6. Deadly shooting from Scratch. The rifleman goes down. Scratch has his 3rd kill, I believe it is now, of the campaign, and his 1st of the day. That looks good. He has burned through an action here, and put his action token there. Excellent. In the center, for our 3rd action, Ray is going to run through the woods from the log cabin and take up a position here in this. Oh, actually, we can't. Okay, so I was going to have him come down and inspire Irish to fire, but he has used his action, so he can't inspire Irish. So we'll do that action, but we're going to wait to have Irish not fire. We might hold our fire on these middle positions right now. A little risky, but I think we're going to be okay. To the east, Super P grabs the M1919 machine gun, runs through the woods with it, slung over his shoulder here, and heads into this defensive position number 6. And he burns up his energy. That's our 4th action. Now we have to take this machine gun and set it up, but we can do that, I think, pretty easily next turn. All right, so we have 1 more action to go. I feel like this is a big gamble, and I'm not sure it's the right thing to do, but I don't see too much other value in Zero because there just isn't a lot of squad members. There aren't a lot of squad members in his squad that he can inspire, and he's only got a D6. And all he can really good at is really using the radio artillery. So we're going to have him, as typical, run through the path, starting a log here, down here to the damaged intelligence jeep, and he's going to head over to the artillery jeep. That's our 5 actions. Let's go to our next round. All right, round 2. I'm a little bit concerned about on our west position that we might have wanted to not have Scratch fire at that central firing position, but that might be a critical mistake. We might not have enough firepower on the outside. We'll see how this goes, though. Okay, attacker number 4, Mortar, firing on position 3, which is our artillery jeep. That's actually okay because there's nothing there. However, by rule now, this means our forward spotters come into play. So let's do that. All right, so in the battle, what happened was the Germans sent medics up to clear, I believe, their wounded away. And one of the medics had binoculars, or a fake medic had binoculars, and started spotting, trying to spot the U.S. defense positions, because that's actually why the U.S. suffered so few casualties, is the Germans just couldn't see them and couldn't find them. The defensive positions they set up were so good. So in the game, we have these 4 observers. Now we can perform a minor action to reveal them. One of them is a forward observer, and once we find the forward observer, we can take them off the map and they're gone. But until we do that, the mortar attacks get 2 dice rolls instead of 1, and they take the highest of those 2 results. Now, I gotta check here, though, the damaged for now case, let's go actually do the mortar shots on our damaged Jeep. All right, so this is a little bit of a roll for nothing, but we'll do it just for the sake of history here. Because the Jeep's already damaged and there's nobody else there and the Jeep can't get more damaged, There's really nothing to roll for, but it damaged it again. So our deep is not double damaged here, but no harm done. So that was actually a pretty painless mortar attack for us, this first one. Right, let's do our second attack now. Oh, mortar on position 2. This one's not good because that's where 0 is. And in case you're wondering, I did shuffle the attack cards extraordinarily thoroughly here. So it's just random that we're getting these in a row, I think. So 0 is in position 2. The mortars start to fly. We throw 2 6-sided dice. Both of them have to be 1s or 2, otherwise 0 is wounded again. 5 and a 4, he's double wounded, but yeah, just take the highest result. So 0 is wounded. We'll have to take care of him, and the second mortar attack has hit us. Third and final attacker in round 2. Assault leader in place 6. Okay, let's go put him in place. The leader falls in line here. Rifleman moves up to the barbed wire fence, and they fall in position, putting pressure on us here in the center. Now, we will need to take care of these medics, but it is our turn to act. Let's think about what we want to do. We're going to have Dave T., who I think has good eyesight. He's going to take an action, and we have a new action called Reveal. It's a minor action. We can flip over one of these medic tokens. One of the 3 tokens is a forward observer. If we find it, the mortar attacks are no longer doubly accurate. If we don't find it, we have to keep flipping until we do. So Dave T., I have no idea which one of these 3 it is, of course, but we're going to try the middle one just because that's where I would send a forward observer if I were the Germans. And of course, I shuffled these before I put them down. So Dave T. looking for the forward observer. Oh, it's just a medic. Okay, so that fails, and that's one of our minor actions there. I think we might have to take the risks with mortars going forward. But while we're here in the center, we're going to be a little bit bold now. We're going to have Lyle right here open up with the M2. And because Ray is here and can inspire her, and the way the machine guns work, you can fire multiple attacks. It's called adjusting fire. She's going to make, I think, we're going to do 1, then we can decide after that. But I think we're going to make 3 attacks right down the line to see if we can take out all 3 of these guys. So Lyle is going to expend, we have 6 loaded ammunition tokens in this M2, and it's time to make this sucker dance. So Lyle's going to open fire with the M2. She needs a 4 or greater to hit this. It is a D12. She gets... Oh, you know, actually, we're going to do something a little bit different. Let me think about this. We're going to shoot for the backwards, the farthest rifleman. She needs a 5 to hit him. That way we can make there's penalties for the second shot. So she gets 1 shot, but Ray's inspiring her, so she gets an extra die. D12, she needs a 5 or greater on either one of these. She opens fire. 2 and a 7. Nice. So she drops the rifleman. That's 1 down. That counter's gone. Now she's going to expend another ammunition counter to fire at this rifleman in the top there. Just mark him like that. Now the second shot, there's a +1 penalty. So instead of needing a 4, she needs a 5. Again, she's inspired by Ray, so a 5 or better. 7 and a 9. She takes out her second rifleman. She's tearing it up. That's our second shot. Now she's going to fire a third one. We can keep firing, but we have a chance to overheat the machine gun, so this is going to be our last one. Now, normally she needs a 4, but it's this third round she's fired, so +2, so 6 or greater to drop the third one. Can she be perfect? 10 and a 1. Oh, the machine gun is steaming. We lose 3 ammunition counters. That's a major action, but Lyle picks up 3 kills and wipes out that entire central attack column. I think that was a good use of our machine gun. That was fun, by the way. That's like really cool to do that. I was debating whether to have 0 bandage himself up, but we're going to take a risk that there's only going to be 1 mortar attack on position 2. So, because if a wounded person gets wounded again, or disrupted person gets disrupted a second time, they're out of the battle. So if we win this game, we'll just call them as, killed in action. But I don't think there's going to be a second mortar attack in the same place. I'm guessing, but I'm not sure. So we're going to take Vargas here, have him use a minor action, and he is going to try to spot this medic down here in the field. Now, hopefully this one is our forward observer. It's a 50% chance. No, it is not. Okay, so we know where the forward observer is. It's the last one left. The question is whether we want to try to take him out now or not. But instead, what we're going to do first is we're going to have Super P is going to open fire down here at this rifleman approaching the barbed wire fence. He's inspired by Commander Stone, so we roll 2 dice, D8s. He needs a 4 or greater to make the shot. Takes aim and fires. 6 and a 2. Excellent. Drops the rifleman. So Mr. Super P gets another. He is our kill leader, by the way. That is his, I believe, 7th kill of the campaign. He is a machine for us now. That takes the rifleman down, and we have 1 action left. All right, I'm anticipating we're going to see action on the flanks pretty soon. I might be totally wrong here, but Parker is going to run through the woods and come up here so that he can inspire Barney and Hart, because I think that's what's going to happen, but I'm kind of guessing, so I have no real idea, and that's our 5th and final action. Let's go to round 3. All right, our 3rd round. I'm a little bit nervous about these mortars because I think they might be hitting our frontline positions, but we'll see what we get here. Machine gun 42 out in position A. Okay, so that's not bad for us because that's the one we took out early in the action there. So that's good. Let's go drop that back into place. Actually, I stand corrected. This is the A in the interior. There's 2 that are labeled A. So, whoops, we got the wrong one. Make sure we get that right. We already had a mistake in the last one. So this one takes up its function. I'm going to guess that only 1 is coming into position, so we're going to kind of ignore it. That might be the wrong strategy, but not knowing what's in here, we'll take our chances. Let's go to our 2nd card. 2nd attacker is Machine gun 42 in position C. Okay, machine gun in position C out on the the right side here. Scrambles up and takes position behind the tree. To a certain degree, I feel like these aren't shuffled because we're seeing mortars and positions come together, but I intensely shuffle these like 3 times. So, and assault leader in place 1, okay? So leader in position 1, heading towards David's position, and we know this medic is the forward observer, so we can take him out on the next round. All in all, that felt mild because this is where having, I think, knocked out those machine gun nests in the previous wave really helped us in this wave because instead of them firing at us, they're just dropping into position. So that's good. Let's go to our turn. So the lack of pressure on that was kind of a lull in the action for us. We really didn't get too much attacking pressure there. I think we can do a few things here that kind of help us. So Dave T is going to use one of his actions. He's going to get out his binoculars again, and he's going to spot this time the forward observer. There he is, the last place we looked. And that takes care of that. That means we complete that objective. It's worth 0 victory points, but now any further mortars that come in our positions will only get their regular attack accuracy. So that's good, 1 action. Now let's have Pambas here use his assist action, which is a full action, to reinvigorate Royce with the machine gun. That will be our 2nd action complete. Let's slide on over to the east now. We have to get Joey back in action here. So he's going to do a minor action to bandage up his 2nd wound. He now ties Lanuski for most wounded warrior. We really got to get him over. If we're going to dial in artillery, we got to get him over and start working on that radio. So that's our 3rd action. 4th action, Vargas is going to use his assist action. That will expend him, and he is going to reinvigorate Super P. And then Super P is going to take his action and mount here, get this M1919 all set up so it'll be more accurate. That takes care of our 5 actions, and that's a very calm round 3. We are 1/3 of the way through wave 3. So far, so good. Round 4. I feel like something's ready to go down here. Let's see what happens. Machine gun 42 out on the flank in position A. Okay, no harm done there because again, that's the one we knocked out right in the beginning of the battle. Machine gun A drops into position. Now, I'm starting to think we've got so many machine guns so early that maybe they're actually going to fire twice in this round. I'm not really sure, of course. So I'm thinking maybe we might want to start shooting at these things. 2nd attacker in wave 4. Assault, leader in position 5. Okay. Leader drops in position 5. This rifleman moves up to the barbed wire. We got 2 leaders pushing the rifleman forward. That's our 2nd attacker. We'll probably want to address these guys. 3rd attacker in wave 4. Random rifleman in positions 1 to 6. Let's see what we get here. 5. Oof, that's not so good. So rifleman slides in here, pushes this rifleman up. Because there's leaders in the queue, they inspire this German rifleman to go right past the barbed wire. We got a 5 there. Yep, we got a 5. So he's going to slide towards this undefended position, and they've cleared the barbed wire. So we definitely want to get busy out here on this eastern flank. We want to take out ideally 1, 2 guys right here. So now it is our turn to act. So 3 quick things as we shift into our actions here in round 4. This is actually the next day because I had to stop playing after that moment when I pulled the cards. And in that interim, I noticed the second point was the forward observer isn't removed when you spot them. You still have to shoot them. And so it doesn't really impact our play. We probably would have shot at them last round, but I've put them back in because that's an easy way to fix that mistake. And then the third thing is regarding the cards here. We've seen 12 of the 27 attackers in this wave, and not a single attacker has been on the outside flanks, which means either one of 2 things. Either I'm totally wrong and there's no outside flankers in the third wave, or they're all coming in the remaining 15 attackers. So we might need to adjust some of our people to the middle if there's no outside flankers, and we have to be careful that we don't get these spaces clogged up, because you can only have 4 defenders in each firing position. So something to think about as we go forward. I think we've got decisions this round, but we'll need to think about that after we see what happens in round 5. Let's get started in with our defense now in round 4. So by far our biggest threat here are these attackers coming up on the center right flank. We've got one rifleman only 1 spot away from our defensive position number 5 with the booby trap stopping him, but still that's not a good position to be in. So it's time for Joey to open up with the machine gun. He is inspired by stone. It is a D10 firing on, and actually we're going to fire a couple times, so let's start back here. Firing 1 round, he will pull out, he's got 5 loaded. He's going to fire 1 round at this leader who is a 4. Because he's inspired, we get to roll 2 dice, so we need 4 or greater. He's up. Oh my goodness, a 2 and a 2. That's catastrophically bad luck on a miss, but we can fix it, I think. Come on, Joey, bear down. We're going to do the same thing. Now, subsequent rounds have a +1 penalty, so he's going to get 2 rounds. He needs a 5 or greater to hit. Gosh, that was it's bound to happen, right? We've been pretty lucky. Seriously? 4 and a 4, 2 more misses. Joey, get dialed in here. Oh, this is really bad. Okay, he's gonna fire 1 more round. We can fire 3 without having it overheating. It's a +2. We need a 5 or greater to hit that rifleman closest to the defensive position. No! God, 3 and a 4. All 3 shots miss. Oh, that's catastrophically unfortunate, I think. Okay, we got to think for a second how we're going to adjust that. All right, we are going to adjust here by having Dento open up with the machine gun inspired by Ray. He has great sightline down here, but it is a +1 range. But we got to take this rifleman out. That's without a doubt. So Dento firing with the M2, which has a D12, a little bit better weapon here. He's firing across the zone. We need a 4 or greater. He's inspired by Ray, so we get 2 shots, a 4 or greater. Our luck, we've had really good luck so far. Oh, good, a 4 or greater. We just get it. What's going on with our weapons here? I should have taken a break. So that's 1 shot. We use 1 bit of ammo. I'll just drop it here. Now we're gonna have him keep firing. We're gonna fire back over here, see if we can take out the forward observer. It's his 2nd shot, going across range in the 2nd shot, so we need a 6 or greater, but rolling 2 because he's inspired with Ray. 8 and 11, that's how we shoot. Forward observer is taken down. That's our 2nd shot now. And we gotta drop that on there. And let's take 1 more since we're in the firing mood here. I don't know whether we're gonna go for this leader over here or this rifleman over here. They've both had all their leaders come into the row. Let's take a shot at this leader over here. So we need a 6. Let's see, it's firing across the zone, so it's +1. So instead of a 4, we need a 5. It's a 3rd shot, so 7s are better on 2 shots. 9 and a 2, excellent. So Dento picks up 2 kills. We burn through 3. Our M2 is now unloaded. We'll want to reload that shortly. Dento is exhausted. Dento's firing saves us. Joey's firing. He's done so well too, but this was just a bad moment for him. Fortunately, we were able to clean up most of those problems there, and we have 3 actions left. Let's see what we want to do. So 3 actions left. I think Zero might eventually have to be our hero here because He's going to scramble through the woods here, get to the damaged artillery jeep. We are going to need him, I think, to call in for artillery support. We might need to skip one of these rounds. I'm not feeling all that comfortable about where our defensive positions are right now. So with that taken care of, 2 actions left. All right, our M2 is out of ammunition, so we are going to shuffle over. Irish is going to reload it. It's a minor action, and that puts 6 new rounds back into the M2. With our last action, Indy is going to run up to the firing position up here so we can get him into the action, and that finishes our actions for round 4. Let's go to round 5. Round 5, I think this is going to tell us a lot because I'm curious about these flanks here. Assault in the middle again, so still nothing from the outside. Let's see where this one shows up. Position 4, right in the center. That's actually pretty good for us. So this Fallschirmjäger pushes up here. Still, that attack has been really heavily hit by Lyle's firing down the line there and taking out a lot of casualties. But let's see what we've got now. 2 more attackers in this round. All right, what have we got? Oh, a mortar firing either on position 6 or position 1. So position 6, position 1 on the outside is Rabinov and Lanuski, who has yet to get hurt. He's gotten hurt in every wave, so we're going to expect him to probably take casualties here. Or a 4, 5, or 6 would be position 6. Neither one of these, we can pull these off, neither one of these is particularly good for us, but let's see what happens. I think we're hoping for a 1 to 3 on this. 3, excellent, good. So that does help us. That means it's position 1 out here. The mortar is at regular strength because Dento did take out that forward observer. So thankfully we've done that. So we're going to roll 1 die for each person and see how their casualties go. So Rabinov needs a 1, 2, or 3, otherwise he is injured. 6, he is injured. Lanuski needs a 1 to 4, otherwise he is injured. A 1. Okay, so Lanuski doesn't get hurt, but Rabinov does. And that takes care of that mortar position. Okay, interesting. That's a card that's an attacker we haven't seen so far. And our last card in this round, Machine Gun B. So that's the last machine gun position that we haven't seen one come into play, which makes me think, well, let's go put it in place. So Machine Gun B is our central one here, taking on Lyle and Dento and Ray's position. Now all the machine gun cards have been in and we're halfway through the deck, which makes me think maybe there's another 4 machine gun cards in this round. Maybe not. We still have yet to see an attacker out on the flank. I think it's safe to say that we are not going to see attackers on the flank, perhaps? So I think we're going to start shifting people to the middle. Then let's go to our turn. All right, let's start off with our first action. Zero gets on the radio and starts dialing in. Hopefully we can have some luck here taking out a wave. We may need the help here. Second action, Rabinov is going to bandage himself up, so we get him back up in action. He is wounded as well. That's his first wound. All right, we're going to start shifting a little bit to the center here. Super P is going to move over 1 spot to the center here. And then Lanuski is going to run this way and take up this firing position here. The general idea is we're going to give up defending the flanks because I don't think they're coming down the flanks. So let's go 1 more action to go. All right, I'm not quite sure the best way to do this, but Hart is going to run through the woods and come up to this firing position here with the idea that we can shift him here, shift Parkera here, and shift Barney over to, just trying to shuffle people to the center, I guess. I'm not sure this is the right way to do it though, but that finishes up our round 5. Let's go to round 6. All right, this is going to tell us a lot, right? Round 6, next 3 attackers. Mortar, okay. Well, this actually works out pretty well for us. On a die roll over 1 or 2, it's here where our M2 Jeep is. On a 3 or 4, it's here where we've got nobody. And a 5 or a 6, it's where Super P is. So it could be a lot worse. So let's see where this one falls. A 3. A 3 is on position 4, which is perfect because there's nobody there. Nice. Silly Germans firing at the wrong places. But the mortars are starting to come in now. I wonder too if there's going to be more machine guns. Let's see what we get here. Oh, it is. So they each fire twice in this round. Position A, okay, so let's take a look. So position A here is this one right here. It's the square A. On a 1 to 3, it fires at position 1. On a 4 to 6, it fires at position 2. Going extra either David or Indy, which is good, again, firing in positions where we only have one person. A 1, so it targets David in position 1. He, on his Valor rating, is a 3, so he needs a 1 or a 2 to not be wounded. 4, David is wounded. So, and we do know now that we're probably going to see every machine gun fire twice, right? So we better start shooting at those. And our final attacker in round 6. Assault a leader in position 3. We could kind of expect that. We hadn't seen them yet, so let's see what happens there. So leader in position 3. This is again the one that Lyle wiped out with their expert shooting. Running up the middle here, starting to get close to the barbed wire, and we know that this machine gun's probably going to fire again, so this is probably a bigger threat than anything else. We go to our actions in, this is round 6, right? So 9 attackers left, and I think it's safe to say we can make some predictions now about what we're going to see, that there's really not going to be anybody on the outsides, because there's only 9 attackers left and we have yet to see anybody come up the flank. So I was totally wrong on that assumption here. But let's get busy. All right, I'm not sure I've got this at all right, but we're going to have David patch himself up. He is going to put a bandage on. That'll be our first action. Second action, we're going to start shifting to the middle here. We're going to have Hart run over to the middle here to get ready for an attack coming up the center. That's action number 2. Action number 3, Zero gets on the radio, dials in artillery support. Action number 4, I'm not confident in this one, but I think we need to start taking out this rifleman here in the middle. We're going to have Irish open fire. Inspired by Ray, we need a 4 or greater firing on his D8. So 7 and a 2, excellent. So Irish burns through his energy and picks up a kill. That is our 4th action here, and we can remove this rifleman, taken down. Irish with a kill. Last action, we're going to have Stone shift from here to the center position. And then the idea is we're going to bring Rabinoff in down here next time. And so just basically trying to shift to the middle because I don't think we're seeing anything on the flanks. And that is our 5th action. Let's go to round 7. Alrighty, round 7. Let's see what we get. I bet we're going to see machine gunners, right? Assault in the middle, 1 to 6. That's kind of expected too because we know they're coming down the middle rather than the outsides now. A 1, position 1. Okay, let's drop them in place. All right, so position 1, Fallschirmjäger comes in here. We have 2 leaders, so they bypass the fence there and head up towards Hart and David. Shift into line here. So that's the first action. So we're going to need to take care of that rifleman for sure. 2 more cards. We've got 8 attackers left. Assault 1 to 6. Okay, we want anything except a 1, right? 3. Okay, that's not too bad. So Fallschirmjäger 3 comes down in here. Fortunately, we took out 1 in that last round, right? So that shuffles in here, moving up to the wire, heading up towards Ray's position up there. Now, I'm assuming all the machine guns fire again, which means there's probably a lot of machine guns left, perhaps? Assault in the middle, 1 to 6, again, so it's all middle. Now, we would like a 5 or a 6. That would be helpful. A 1, that's the one we didn't want. Fallschirmjäger level 2 moves up here. Now he heads up towards position 1. This is where the booby trap saves us because everybody shuffles up. This rifleman hits the booby trap and is killed, which is good, but we did burn through our booby trap. Considering we totally got the attack trajectories wrong, I feel like we're going to lose a booby trap here. Fortunately, the booby trap saved us. Otherwise, it could have been the end of our defense here. But we have major threats coming up this row here with 6 attackers left. Alrighty, I think it's in our best interest. I don't want the radio, I don't want the artillery to follow on the last wave because I want to make sure we can use our last round to try to do as much damage as possible to everything that's here. We might need that round. So Zero's gonna call in for artillery support now. Ideally, I'd like to have at least 3 of these radio tokens up here, but we only have 2. So we get 2 dice rolls. Zero needs a 6, roughly a 1/3 chance, I suppose. Come on, Zero, you failed us last time. Make a good call. A 6 would take out the whole next wave. 5 and a 3. We fail. That's an action. So no luck with the radio artillery here. That getting wounded across and missing 1 turn probably really hurt us there, although I think our first clear action here with defense is going to be Hart firing on the rifleman. Now there's no inspiration involved here, so we only get 1 shot with his D8 trying to pick the rifleman up coming right at his position. A 4. Excellent. So needed a 3 or higher. Hart comes through with, I believe, his 5th kill in the campaign. That rifleman falls to the ground, and that saves us there. Now the question is, if we got 2 more attackers in row 1, that would be the end. That's our most dangerous position right now. I feel like we probably should do something to defend this and try to take this guy out. All right, I have a rough plan. I'm not sure if it's a good plan, but we're going to take a chance that they don't have 2 attackers in this kind of position 1 here. Parker is going to run down here, and so he can be ready to inspire Royce in the next round. Over here, Ray is going to run over here, so he can be ready to inspire Indy in the next round. And then over on the right, that leaves us 1 action left. Over on the right, Rabinov's going to run down here, so he can inspire Lanuski in the next round as well. So we have a rough plan here. We can use our command ratings here. For example, we can use Stone's command rating to reactivate 3 people. Likewise, we can use Ray to reactivate 3 people. So if we don't get knocked out in this round, I think we might have enough actions to be able to hold off the last one. Let's go to round 8. Alrighty, round 8, here we go. 6 attackers left to go. Assault, leader in 4. We knew that was one of the ones left, so that's okay. So the leader shuffles up in here. They're going to go past the barbed wire up to position 4. And we still have that booby trap there to save us if we need be. I mean, if we got 2 4s in a row or 2 1s in a row attacking those positions, we will lose. But, you know, I don't think we can really defend against that at this position. Now, if each machine gun fires twice, 3 of these last 5 cards are all machine guns, but I don't think that's the case, perhaps. Machine gun A, so it is. So maybe the last ones here are all machine guns, which would be interesting for sure. So this is actually could be bad for us, but let's see what happens. All right, so machine gun A here is the hexagonal one out on the left. It can either fire at position 1 on a 1, 2, or 3, or 4, 5, or 6. It fires at position 2. Obviously, we want them shooting at Barney. Yes, excellent. We got lucky there. So they take the shot at Barney. Barney is going to get wounded unless he rolls a 1. Oh, Barney gets his head down. Good job. Machine gun has no impact on us. That was fortunate. That was about as good as that possibly could have happened, right? Because it could have hit the 4 people in the right side and knocked off like 3 or 4 of them, and we would have had to deal the whole next round with getting them back up to strength. But it does look like then, I bet, with 4 cards left, I bet 2 of them are machine guns, right? They're going to be the machine guns positions left to fire. A mortar, okay. All right, so let's see where it fires. On a 1 to 2, it's the log cabin position here. 3 or 4, it is position 2, which is Ray and Indy. 5 or 6, it's all of our exhausted people in here. We want them hitting the log cabin where there's nobody there. Oh my goodness. So we had bad luck with that shooting, but Joey. But the mortars, the German mortars have been absolutely clueless, hitting positions where pretty much nobody is. So they fired the log cabin, but silly Germans, there's nobody at the log cabin. Oh, that was good, because if that did hit here, that could have created a lot of issues. That would have been tricky for us. All right, still not out of the woods though, pun intended. All right, still probably one of the ones, machine gun C could potentially be nasty. A mortar again, so another mortar falls. Wow, lots of mortars. Let's see where this one lands. All right, this one has some potential nastiness involved. In a 1 or a 2, it's position 1, which makes it fortunate here because if Barney had been wounded and this landed on 1, Barney could have been killed with this. 2 wounds would kill you. On a 3 or 4, it hits this loaded position here. On a 5 or 6, it hits David T. and Hart here in position number 1. Obviously, we want a 1, we want this position or this position. We don't want a 3 or 4, so 1 or 2 or a 5 or a 6. A 2. Gosh, these mortars have been they've been very kind to us. So again, Barney has to duck his head down. He's been shot at by machine guns. He hasn't done anything. He's just getting shot at. He's our pincushion. He needs a 1 to not get wounded again. Let's see if his self-preservation skills are up to the task. He gets a 6. No, this time he's absolutely, totally wounded. And the mortar gets some effect here. But 3 attackers left. Oh wait, I pulled 4 cards? Oh, I did, what a dummy. Okay, I think probably the best way to do that is to just take that and then we'll just draw 2 cards in the last round. I don't think it matters too much because of the way we'll do it. And what I'll do is I'll probably say that we can't, it's not going to change our behavior, but we cannot patch up Barney in this round. Okay, so let's drive on. We have 5 actions. So I think we know what's happened so far. I think we can assume in those last 2 cards there, they're probably going to be the 2 machine guns that haven't fired twice, which would be B and C. And the question is whether it's to our advantage to try to take them out or to just kind of let them fire at us and then try to clear them up in the last round. I'm a little bit torn, but I think we have some clear actions here that we want to take first up. We are going to have Rabinoff inspire Lanuski to fire across the sight line here and try to take out this Fallschirmjäger right before this position here. Because theoretically, if we're wrong about the machine guns, there could be a couple of attackers. We want to at least clear out the ones right in front of here. Now he's firing across a sight line, so it's +1. He needs a 4 or greater. However, he is inspired by Rabinoff, so we get 2 shots. Lanuski has yet to get a kill this round. He's had plenty in the first earlier rounds. Needs a 4 or greater. 7 and a 2. Lanuski strikes again. That's our first action, and we successfully drop this defender here. So Lanuski picks up a kill. We got 4 actions left. Now this makes our next action pretty easy. Commander Stone is going to use his command ability to activate everybody out here, and that way we can use them in the next round. And even better, I think the question is whether we want Joey to fire down here at this machine gun here. Or do we want to just let them fire and then clean up the mess afterwards and try to take them out that way? All right, I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to have Joey try to take the machine gun out because we know most of the machine guns probably are going to fire twice. If they hit this position with the machine gun, we could be in a whole lot of hurt. So I think it's worthwhile to try to clear it out now. So Joey is going to fire the machine gun down here. He needs a 7 or greater. He is inspired by Rabinoff because they're in the same squad, which means that on a D10, Joey, who's not had any luck today, needs a 7 or greater to take the machine gun out with 2 dice. So Joey trying to get some to revenge his earlier mishaps here. Opens fire with the machine gun. 8 and a 5. Excellent. So we do knock out that machine gun. Joey picks up 2 kills. Perfect. And that is our 3rd action for the round. So Ray is going to use his command ability here to bring back all of everybody, because you can do adjacent positions. So Irish, Dento, and Lyle are all refreshed and ready to go. And I think now we're going to take a risk and hope that this machine gun fires at this position, and then we can save Lyle or Dento to fire down at this machine gun in the next round and take that out of action for the last round. That leaves us with 1 action left. So I think it's time for us to start thinking ahead here towards our next round, because, and if we can, again, taking out those machine guns helps a ton. So we're going to have Indy with our 5th action try to take out machine gun A. He's in the same zone. Needs a 7 or greater. He's not inspired by anybody, so we need a 7 or 8 with this shot. Indy, it would be super helpful to take this out for the last round. Come on, Indy, dial it in. Yes! Indy comes up big, taking some shots and knocking out the machine gun MG42 position in 7. That's some excellent shooting that could potentially help us a lot in our final round. So knocking out that machine gun, Indy picks up 2 kills, and that completes this round for us. All right, round 9. And again, there's only 2 attackers this round because I drew 4 in the previous one, but I played as if it didn't impact us and we didn't recover Barney, so I think it's a minimal impact on gameplay. Let's see what this attacker brings. It is Machine Gun C, which we had Joey knock out, so it just drops into place. That was good because that could have been a pretty deadly shot. So, all right, so Machine Gun C drops into place. That was fortunate for us that we took that out beforehand. And since every machine gun except B has fired twice, I'm pretty sure this is going to be Machine Gun B. And it is. Okay, so we could kind of predict what was going to happen with that one. This one could be bad, however. So Machine Gun B, on a 1, 2, or 3, it fires in this crowded position. Dento, Irish, and Lyle. On a 4, 5, or 6, it fires on the empty position. Now, the mortars have been extremely silly. The machine guns haven't necessarily targeted the greatest opportunity. We've been really lucky where the machine gun targets. Ideally, we want it to fire at 4 so we can save all of our actions in the last round to try to take out the machine guns for the final round. So a 4, 5, or 6 would be super helpful here. Let's see if the dice gods still shine on us here. Oh, at 3 they didn't. Okay, so let's get our heads down. Lyle, Dento, and Irish. We're going to see casualties here, I'm sure. Hopefully not Lyle, because we want Lyle to be able to fire in the last round. We can fix everything. We can bandage people up. We'll have enough time for sure. But, so machine gun B opens fire. Let's do Irish first. He needs a 1 or a 2 to not be wounded. A 2! Excellent. We're lucky there. Dento, same thing. Oh, these German machine guns. Now, the last time this happened, Lyle, who's got a Valor of 6, anything except a 6 and she'll be fine. A 1! These are the worst German machine guns ever. They can't hit anything. That was really lucky for us. Seriously, 3 dice rolls. They get like a 2, a 1, and a 1. That was so lucky for us. And it's a huge help, right? So let's go to our last round. We can take 5 actions and hopefully put the hurt on some of these machine guns here. Alrighty, so we're safe in this round. Our goal now is to take out as many machine guns as possible. We're going to have Lyle open up with the M2 on machine gun B. This is a totally ineffective machine gun crew. I don't know, we might want to leave them in place because they're such bad shots. But Lyle's going to fire with the M2. Just use 1 round of ammunition. That will leave us with 7 for the final round. So she's not inspired. A D12 on her M2 to hit this. We need a 7 or greater. Let's take it out, Lyle. 12! The most deadly shot. Lyle says that's how you fire a machine gun. 2 more kills for Lyle, who picks up 5 in this round. That is some amazing shooting there. That burns up our first action and that ammo token, and more valuably takes out this machine gun for the final round, which will save some casualties in that final round, I'm sure. Now, let's see if Parkera can inspire Royce to do the same thing. We're going to have him fire here with the M19-810. He's only got 1 round in the chambers here. So, or 1 burst it would be perhaps. It's going to fire out here on machine gun A, 7 or greater. This is a D10. It's not as effective as our M2 machine gun, but still, let's go. Oh, we get 2 shots though, because he's inspired by Parkera, right? Same squad. So, 7 or greater. Royce takes aim. 10 and a 2. Knocks out machine gun A. Very good. Royce picks up 2 more kills. He shot it twice, right? So he took that machine gun out early in the battle, then took it out again. That's excellent. So our last machine gun left in position here is machine gun C. We could get a clean sweep here. Lanuski, who has just been reinvigorated by Stone and can fire again now. He's inspired by Rabinov, so we get 2 shots on a D8 to take out this machine gun. That would leave us basically all the machine guns knocked out for the start of round 4. That would be good. So Lanuski takes aim. We need a 7 or 8 on this. He gets 2 shots. Come on, Lanuski, take it out. Yes, an 8. Oh, we have finished strong. Lanuski with 2 more kills, giving him, I think, like 700 for this battle. He might be our leader now. He did not get wounded this round, which is good. So Lanuski fires, takes out the machine gun. There's really not much left for us to do because the Germans are falling back now. We have 2 actions left, however. I think we can see if some people can perhaps pick up some kills or something like that. But let's see what we're going to do with our final 2 actions. I almost forgot. Barney is going to patch himself up. That would have been bad because if we didn't patch him up, we would have lost a morale point there. So Barney is all patched up. That leaves us with 1 action left. So our very last action, we might as well take a shot at this leader. We've got Parkera, who's been busy running around inspiring people. He has yet to fire, so let's give him a shot down at this leader. We need a 4 or greater, Parkera, to finish off this attack wave 3 with a leader shot. 8! The best shot. The leader goes down. Not that it matters, but it is a little kind of a point of emphasis there. Parkera takes out the leader, gets a kill, and that finishes us in this round. And here is the battlefield at the end. We didn't exhaust everybody like we did last time, because we had, I guess, more people moving around, shuffling around positions and stuff like that. And we used our machine guns more, which meant that a lot of our kills were concentrated into 1 action, which explains the discrepancy there. Oh, that was interesting. I was totally wrong about where the attack was coming from. I thought for sure we were going to get overwhelmed in the edges. And we do know now, the last wave, wave 4, is going to have a huge number of attackers out on the edges. So I think we'll probably use the defense we use this time to defend the next round in like the setup. And I think we'll be ready in positions. The good thing for us is we have cleared out all of the machine gun nests, which was very fortunate. We got really lucky there, I think, though. Their mortar rounds could have been a lot more deadly. Their machine gun firing was totally ineffective. That was the dice gods shining on us there. That could have been quite a bit different had if a lot of people had been injured, we would have used our actions to basically to patch them up, which would have meant that we wouldn't have had rounds to shoot at the machine guns. So we could be going into round 4, into wave 4, in a lot less optimistic situation. If they had all 4 machine guns in place, we could be in serious trouble there. But let me know what you think. We're going to wave 4, the final wave, blind. Be back in a couple of days to fight it out. Comments are welcome. Congratulations on everybody who picked up kills and stuff like that. So far, so good. Wave 4 coming up. We'll see you again soon. I'll put a link to it as soon as it's ready. Take care, everybody. Bye.